If your short-term rental business isn't tracking ADR, you're flying blind. Average daily rate, or ADR, is one of the most important vacation rental metrics. It's what defines pricing power, impacts revenue, and directly affects profitability. Today, I'll be breaking down what ADR is, why it matters, how to calculate it, and how to use it to grow faster and earn more. Ready? Well, let's get right into it. What exactly is ADR? Let's start with a clear definition. ADR stands for average daily rate. It's the average amount your short-term rental earns per booked night. Not per available night, only per night that was actually booked. To calculate your ADR, it's simple. You take your total revenue from booked nights and divide it by the numbers of nights booked. Let's look at an example. If my property earns $4,000 this month and was booked for 20 nights, then the ADR would be $200. Now, there are a few major factors that can directly affect your ADR. Seasonality. High demand periods drive much higher rates, which can of course cause your ADR to fluctuate at different times of the year. Local events, conferences, festivals, and holidays will often spike your ADR. Amenities and upgrades, hot tubs, smart TVs, and workspace setups really justify higher prices. Photography, strong, compelling visuals can really increase perceived value. Minimum night stays is another big one. Longer stays often lead to better per night averages. And dynamic pricing tools adjust rates daily based on demand data. It might seem simple, and it is, but understanding average daily rate can be incredibly powerful when tracked consistently. ADR is a foundation of a good short-term rental pricing strategy. Increasing your ADR without killing occupancy leads directly to higher income. It also shows how a property stacks up against local competition. Even just two similar rentals on the same street might earn very different ADRs based on photos, amenities, guest experience, and pricing. Tracking ADR over time reveals market trends, seasonal patterns, and how pricing changes performance. You can also use ADR to do the following: spot underpricing, justify premium rates with upgrades, optimize for high revenue dates, compare performance against local averages. Look, at the end of the day, ADR can give you a clearer picture of your property's health than if you only look at revenue or occupancy alone. Now, moving on to ADR versus RevPAR. Short-term rental owners and managers measure their success using several metrics. ADR stands out because it directly measures revenue per booked night, but it's only a piece of a broader landscape of short-term rental metrics. You may have also heard of RevPAR, or revenue per available rental. You may ask, how is this different from ADR? ADR shows earnings per booked night, while RevPAR factors in both occupancy and ADR. So if bookings slow down, RevPAR drops even if ADR stays high. That's why these two always work best together. This gives a more comprehensive view of a property's financial performance, blending how often rooms are filled with how much is made from them. Unlike ADR, which looks purely at revenue from booked nights, RevPAR tells you how well you're utilizing your total available inventory. The bottom line: monitor both to stay balanced, maximizing nightly rate and keeping bookings steady. Raising price may sound easy, but raising them and keeping bookings steady is the real skill. But here's what works. Improve listing visuals for much better photos to sell at higher rates. Upgrade key amenities. Even the smallest changes like blackout curtains or better bedding really do matter. Nail the first 5 seconds of the listing description. Highlight reviews that mention value and comfort. Use dynamic pricing tools to really capture high demand spikes. And analyze local competitors and position your rate slightly above average with better value. But to really dial this in, use data. ADNA shows you what similar properties in your area are charging and how your listing stacks up. You can also track how your ADR is trending, see where you're leaving money on the table, and adjust your strategy with real numbers. Also, avoid racing to the bottom on price. Competing purely on low rates often attract the wrong type of guests and kills long-term ROI. ADR is much more than a number. It's a reflection of a brand, experience, and strategy. Make sure that you're tracking it monthly. Use it alongside RevPAR and Occupancy to make better decisions. Don't just focus on bookings, focus on profitability per booking. Smart hosts don't aim to be the cheapest, they aim to deliver the most value at the best price. That's how ADR becomes a growth engine. If you found this video helpful, feel free to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Here at ADR, we love creating content, breaking down the numbers, strategies, and the mindset behind high-performing short-term rentals. And we'll see you in the next video.